Hey everybody, Mega Ruler 31 here. Welcome back to another episode of FSI DFS. We're going to break down the late slate for Saturday, May 29th. If you're looking for the early information, McKinley 412 did a video for that. So pause this one, check out our channel, watch that one, and then come back and we'll help you out with the night one. So as you can see, I kind of have DK up here on my screen. I normally don't do this. My formats usually give you pictures and stacks, run through all the games, and then give you some lineups. But I'm just going to go position by position today because here's the situation. The Milwaukee and Washington game is part of a doubleheader, so it's only 7 innings. So that takes bats out for me. Plus, the weather's supposed to be horrible. They might not even get the first game in, so I don't even know if this game is going to happen on this slate because the first game might be pushed back so far because of the rain that the second game would be too late to start, so they might just cancel it overall. So if this one does go, I might look at the pitchers in it, but we'll get to that in a second. Atlanta and the New York Mets also look like it's going to be a complete washout also, but we'll have to wait and see on that one. So I'm pretty much treating this as pretty much a 3-game slate, especially for batters. And for batters, I'm really only looking at 2 games. So when it comes to pitching, I think you have very limited options here. I think you need to go with Urias from the Dodgers against Webb. I know San Francisco is a tough matchup, but I think he's your best bet here. And Jordan Anderson, if it doesn't rain. If it does rain and the Mets do not play, I think your options are going to be Urias and are going to be Adam Wainwright. I think those are the 2 pitchers that you would go with here. Frankoff, no. Fultonevich, no. Dunn, no. Logan Webb is intriguing. He's coming back off the IL. He was only on the 10-day one. He had some shoulder stiffness. They didn't want to send him down to the minor leagues or do anything. He threw a 35-pitch simulated game, so he should be back and good to go. If we hear he's on a pitch count, then I might not want him. I know it's a tough matchup against the Dodgers, but he's an extreme ground ball pitcher. I think if you're not playing the Dodgers and you really have limited options here and you want to make it a little differentiation, I think that he can get maybe enough outs. I know Bellinger might be back in the lineup, and that's a lefty-righty matchup there. So it's a bit risky, but I think he might be play in a GPP if you're looking for something different. If that Washington and Milwaukee game does play 7 innings, sometimes you have a chance for a complete game out of the starting pitchers. I think hitting's going to be horrible. The wind's blowing in there. So I think either one of them, I would probably maybe lean Corbin over Anderson just based on the lineups that they're facing. But again, I think that's just for extreme GPPs only. So I think you really have 3 choices for pitchers on the slate: Urias, Wainwright, and Anderson. So we'll take Wainwright out, and we'll go Anderson, hoping he's playing. But luckily, they're not Anderson. This Ian Anderson. Make sure you're playing Ian Anderson, not Brian B. Anderson. So definitely check that. Ian Anderson. So catcher. There are some options here. Molina has been doing well. Frankoff isn't a good pitcher. I know he doesn't have the split advantage, so kind of like him there. Actually, what I am going to do is I'm going to just highlight pretty much for my batter pool. It's going to be San Francisco, Arizona, Texas, and Seattle. Those are the situations I'm looking at. So Kelly's a little bit expensive. He hasn't been in the lineup all the time. He has a lot of potential, but he's been a little bit erratic. I was looking at his box score here. If you look at his 10-game log, 2-0-0-3. Like, he had a kind of good stretch here, but like he's just all over the place. You're paying a lot of money there to get him in to be able to pay for that. So not interested there. Molina, yes. Vaughn, if he's in, maybe. I think, again, I'm just going to go down to my boy Goody here. He got a hit last night. I think he had like 3 or 4 points. 2K bottom. I'm just going to possibly just plug him in there and move on. I'm okay possibly with the Texas. If Heim's in also, He is a lefty righty matchup against Dunn, so I like that too. And I don't think really. Um, so, like I said, Molina is possibly an option too. So you only have about 4 options there, and I think I'm just going to go with the 2K guy. And okay, moving on to first base. Goldsmith, I like the Cardinals today, but my choice, I think I'm going to go with Nate Lowe. I like the lefty righty matchup against the Seattle pitcher Dunn. I really like the lefties here against him. He's given up a lot of power there. So Lowe's going to be my favorite first baseman, but I'm okay going Goldschmidt there. Possibly Smith against Wainwright. Wainwright is kind of a reverse switch pitcher, so if it's a righty on righty matchup, that's not a problem. Smith is lefty, so I'm okay with that, just with the natural split advantage too. Carpenter, not looking at White on the IL now. That's he's a good player, so it's kind of hate seeing that. I think he was on and off, and now he's back on again. Nobody else really kind of popping here. France, I like him too. I think he'd be a lower down option, but I think definitely Nate Lowe's my number 1, Goldschmidt's would be number 2, and then if you were stacking like Arizona or Seattle, then Smith or France would be the option there. Second base, probably will save Edmund for shortstop because that's a scarce position. If you're stacking the Rangers, I would be okay going with Solak. France is there again. None of the rest of these guys really interest me. Young, maybe if he's because, like I said, he is a little bit reverse splits. Young does have some power, although he really hasn't done much recently. So, yeah, never mind. I think early in the season, like he came out like really hot, and then I think he's just kind of fallen back to earth on that one. So, not going there. So, like I said, Edmonds definitely an option. So, like if you're stacking him, I think Rojas might probably make the best play here. So that's still leaving us 42, which is good. Third base, lots of options here. I'm okay with Arenado. I'm okay with Escobar. I kind of like Seager with the lefty-righty matchup against Fulton-Navich. So those are the ones, if you need a little bit of savings, Brock Holtz can still hit for a little bit of power. He's got the lefty-right matchup against Dunn. I know he bats down in the order, but if you're looking for some savings at 2-4, there's a good player to go there. So I'm just going to plug in Seager for now. Okay, so it's leaving us 42. I said for shortstop, I'm going to put in Edmonds. I'm okay with IKF here. He's been batting higher in the order. The guy's got speed, so if he gets on, he can steal bases. If you need somebody that's a little bit cheaper, Sosa hasn't been bad. And again, like I said, I like the matchup against Dunning here. So, last couple of games, he's really hasn't done much. I think he had like a walk and nothing yesterday, but like 14, 9, 5. So he's had a stretch where he has been productive here, and he's definitely reasonably priced. So he's somebody, if you want to put him there, then you can take, if you want to take Rojas off and put Edmund. I definitely play Edmund in either second or shortstop, but I'm saying if you want to save some money, that Sosa might be an option there. Crawford, I'm okay with him too. Like I said, I'd probably go in Edmonds. So then for the outfield, that would leave us around 4K. And there's a lot of good high price options up here, like Marte. Like I've loved Garcia. He's having such a great season. Gallo lefty matchup against right-handed pitcher Peralta. Calhoun. Carlson at 3.6 is pretty cheap. So it all depends on like what you want to stack and how you want to go here, who you're gonna put in your lineup. You have your cheap options too, like Reddick. Has Reddick done much? I know I played him a couple times recently, just because I like the lefty. Actually, he had 3 hits yesterday, so 2 hits. So he's actually still a viable player. If he draws the lineup, you have the lefty righty matchup. So if you put him in, then that gives you 4-7. So that helps you reach up here to get maybe one of the guys in this range and one of the upper guys. Like I said, the other option too is you could pay down for some of the other ones. Like if you get rid of Rojas and if you want to go like more Seattle or Cardinal heavy, seeing I don't have too many Cardinals in my lineup right now. I think it's more. So I don't know how I'm going to approach this. I just might take the best player, I think, at each position instead of going stacks in cash just to try to build it out. But so that's where I'm going for cash. For GPPs, just quickly, what I will do is I'll get rid of Urias. Let's clear the rest of these ones out. And I think I'm going to, who would my SP2 be? I'd probably have to go Wainwright. I know Wainwright hasn't had a great season, but I think in the context here of just like who we have, if of course we're talking GPP here, if we get these two pitchers in here, and then I would go like complete San Francisco and Dodger stack. I mean, I'm okay stacking the Dodgers, definitely. If you want to make that your cash stack in your route, go ahead. They're starting to get healthier, but I actually kind of like in a GPP, like taking, throw Buster Posey in there, and Solano is a righty-lefty matchup there. Then, like I said, you can throw Max Muncy in for first base to be part of the Dodgers. For third base here, I don't know. Longoria really doesn't have good BVP versus Urias, so maybe not take him. Turner, maybe I'll just throw Turner in there. Shortstop, Lux would be a lefty against him, but he's a little bit expensive. I'd probably just pay down or maybe punt this and play a guy from another game. So I'm just going to leave shortstop because I'm not really. I think Bellinger's too cheap here at 3.6, so I'd plug him in. And then Slater, I believe, is a righty, yes, against lefty Urias, so he would make sense to throw in there. And that leaves like 4,000 each. So if you want to go up and take bets for the stack, then you have to take a cheap shortstop. Throw Yaz in there, you could get a little bit more money for shortstop there. Mix and match whoever else in that you wanted, or play a one-off from another game. So that's how I'm gonna attack this slate tonight. And again, it's been like 3 nights in a row with like weather and like mediocrity, and like last night the video was really good because like I stacked St. Louis and Arizona. I had pieces of Texas and Seattle. The pitchers, I had Bassett and I had Ryu, who got enough points for me, and I ended up on FanDuel and DK cashing, and I didn't make a boatload of money, but you know, I actually made a decent profit. So I was happy with that evening after a couple of nights of frustrating where you're working the process and everything looks like it's going to be okay, and then you know a game gets canceled or something, a guy gets scratched late, and things just don't work out the way they do. But so good luck on this one. We appreciate you watching. We'll be back tomorrow with covering Sunday slates. Hopefully, looks like there's a little bit more rain in the forecast, but I think once we finally hit Monday and Memorial Day, that things are going to start to clear up across the nation, and we should be able to get back to some normal slates of baseball. So appreciate you watching. Have a safe Memorial Day, celebrate responsibly. And for all of you who have served in our military, we thank you for all you've done for our country. Mega Ruler 31, checking out.